goody YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Emirachi, and we back with another episode of What's the Tea with Miss Emirachi, Bachelor edition, where we get into the nitty and the gritty of this week's episode of The Bachelor. Now, I know. I'm sorry, y'all. It's been another 2 weeks since I have done a What's the Tea episode. Just being very transparent. COVID ran through my house like a Tomb Raider.
Coronavirus!
And I just had to get, my mind straight and make sure my family was good. So I had a lot on my mind. I wasn't really, focusing on anything except making sure my family was good. So, but everybody's good now. So we will be consistent. I will be consistent. We got like 2 or 3 more episodes left. I got y'all. Every week I'm going to be here. Even if it's 1, 2, 3 of y'all. I'm going to be here giving y'all my breakdown and interpretation of what happened with that episode. A lot has happened since the last time I came to y'all, so I won't get into it too much because I'm trying to keep these really short and not too long. But we will kind of touch on them during this episode. So without further ado, let's get into it. So this episode was Women's Tell All, and just looking at it from an overall standpoint, it was cool. Oh, my nail. It was cool. I mean, it wasn't like the best women or men tell all that I've ever seen. It kind of seemed lukewarm, I guess because there wasn't a crowd, so there was only but so much they could do, and it wasn't as interactive, and it seemed like a lot of the stories kind of got glossed over and weren't fully fleshed out as I would have liked them to be. So it was like I gave this maybe like a 6.5 out of 10. That being said, a lot of things were definitely addressed and a lot of people were brought to the hot seat, and so I'm really excited about that. So we start off Women Tell All with addressing the MJ and Yesenia situation. We saw they had a 2-on-1 because Yesenia brought it up to Matt that MJ was a mean girl, as with Victoria, and the other girl, I forgot her name. It'll come to me eventually. But we're addressing the MJ situation, and it's interesting how people kind of like sided with MJ, or like the Mean Girls with this whole episode. It seemed like all the Mean Girls were getting they were like, people were siding with them the whole episode, and I'm just like, did y'all not watch the same show that we watched? Like, I don't understand how people can say like, oh, they weren't mean, because they weren't mean to you, but they were mean. They were bullies. Like, nevertheless, so we see that wasn't fleshed out too much. I mean, Yesenia says she stands where she stands with the whole, allegations that MJ's a mean girl. MJ says she apologizes. Her intention wasn't to be a mean girl. Well, intent versus impact, so just take that and leave. So that was talked about. I didn't really care too much about it, so I'm not going to talk more than that. But I guess that whole situation was just like very stupid to me, and honestly, like, it was just an easier way to get girls out because I didn't see him developing a relationship with MJ anyway. So she was going to leave eventually. Like, I didn't see her. She wasn't in my top 10 or really fun. She might have been in my top 10, but she wasn't in my top 3. Like, I didn't see them, getting past a certain level. So onward with that. And then we get to Victoria, talking about her. She's also somebody I don't want to really give a lot of attention to because I feel like she got enough airtime and she doesn't need to get a lot of airtime with my breakdowns. But what I will say is I do think that she was downplaying the situation where she was talking about Brittany, and, just being a mean girl in general. I definitely think she downplayed the situation, where she was talking shit about pretty much everybody in the house, unless they were also on her side. And, I thought that she had crocodile tears, and she's a bully, and I feel like people make mistakes. Like, if you watched the season and you saw that, like, the actions that you did, like, the way that you were acting towards people are not indicative of your actual character. Like, you can literally say, like, I apologize for the way that I acted. If my actions impacted you in a way that I did not intend for them to, then I apologize. And you keep it moving with your life. Like, why is it that everybody has to justify why they're mad at you? Like, you're a bully. That's why they don't like you. Like, apologize and keep it pushing. But of course, in her true fashion and her true nature, she glossed over it and acted as if Brittany was like crazy and all the other girls were crazy for thinking that she was a bully. And that kind of like jumps into the next situation, which is when Katie was brought into it because she was the only one with guts on that show, literally, that told Matt what was going on and that stood up for the other women. And I did not like the fact that Chelsea is my girl. I love Chelsea, but I didn't like the fact that Chelsea said what she said. I didn't like the fact that Mari was doing too much, trying to run the show, because just because somebody doesn't act a certain way towards you doesn't mean that that's not who they are. It's the same way that like someone can say like, oh, this person beat me, and then you come around and you're like, well, they didn't beat me, so they must not be abusive. It's like, no, bro. Like, just because something was not enacted on you, just because something didn't happen to you, doesn't mean that the person who did those traumas is not a traumatic person. Like, that doesn't negate what the other women were going through. And so I just didn't appreciate the fact that Chelsea and Mari and like other women kept saying like, oh, well, I didn't think it was toxic in the house. I didn't think she was a bully.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
So I don't like this idea or this narrative that like in order for somebody to be something they had, or in order for somebody to be toxic, they had to have been toxic to you. No, bro. Like, so I did not like that. I did not like the fact that they was coming at Katie and all of them are trash. Like, for real, this is a Katie Stan account. We stan Katie and she didn't even be the next Bachelorette. Purr. But we're going to get into Katie a little bit more because she went to the hot seat. But the next person, or I guess the first person to hit the actual hot seat with Chris was Brittany. When she's talking about the situation where, what is this girl's name? Anna. Her name is Anna. When Anna had brought the rumor and lie that, you know, Brittany was an escort and how that has destroyed her life. And that, again, like, that's why, like, that just goes to show you, like, people just really have to be careful with their words. Like, I'm the type of person, I know how powerful my tongue is. Like, I know that I have said things and, like, have regretted them, or that I have hurt people with my words intentionally or unintentionally. And so I make sure that, like, moving forward, I don't say things unless, one, I know that, like, I have facts to back this up, or two, like, I have very choice with my words. So I choose my words very carefully. Like, I don't understand how you would think that saying someone is an escort on national TV wouldn't air, because you know ABC love drama, wouldn't air and then wouldn't, like, have negative repercussions on this girl's life. Like, bruh, like, I don't understand. That's why I'm just like, I don't think that some of these women watch this show, because there have been other situations that were not even as crazy. Like, literally, Rachel Lindsay, the first Black Bachelorette, is still getting death threats and, like, ill wishes towards her now, when she ain't do nothing, just because she was the Black Bachelorette. So you think that you saying something that bad wasn't going to have negative ramifications on this girl's life? You don't think. And that's why I'm just like, age ain't nothing but a number, because you a grown-ass woman. You should know words hurt. Sticks and stones may break my bones, well, birds will never hurt me. That's a lie. I don't know why they tell children that. That's a lie. Words be hurt, and sticks and stones. All that shit hurt. So that, I don't know. Like, and I don't know that her apology was really sincere. I don't really know that she really cares. I'm happy that Brittany was able to grow and she's forgiving of her, but I don't think Anna really cared. Like, it was just, like, all for show, her apology. So, like, that was, like, pretty fucked up. Like, that's still messing with her. And, like, hopefully, you know, she's able to, hopefully Brittany is able to, like, get past this and, like, is able to heal from this traumatic situation that's going to follow her for the rest of her life. Because, as she said, anytime you type in her name, it comes up that there's an alleged escort on Bachelor, and then it comes up as hers. So, like, that's definitely gonna, like, mess with her for a long time and follow her for a long time. So that was, like, pretty like hard to watch. And then Bachelor broke it up with the funny bloopers, which is, like, cool. It was cute, you know. They had fun. Like, it was cute. All the unseen dates, that was cool. After that, Katie goes to the hot seat. And again, we stand Katie. We stand Katie. And you know, it really breaks my heart because in the previous episode I said there's always a friend on the show. And it sucks because like Katie was a friend and like I just, man, like it's sad because like she seems like such a great person and like they had such great chemistry and they were like it was almost as if like she was his big sister, like bringing things out of him that he was then able to translate into other relationships with other women. Like if not for Katie and her goofiness, I don't know that he would be able to be goofy with other people, or he would be able to do certain things and feel comfortable trying out certain things that he could try with, than if he was to do that with other women. Like, and so it sucks that her feelings and her emotions got caught up in that because ultimately she's the one that ended up with the short end of the stick. But once again, like I'm really happy that she was able to kind of, you know, explore herself and, as she said, like find herself in new ways and just be her authentic self. And if she's not the next Bachelorette, I feel like she is going to be a part of the Bachelor franchise for a long time. So, you know, Bachelor in Paradise, we might see her there, you know what I'm saying? And I would love to see Katie there once COVID, of course, has lifted a little bit. So that was good to see that she's in good spirits and she's doing a little bit better. The next person to hit the hot seat was Abigail. Again, this is an Abigail Stan account too. And I said this with my sister when we first, like one of our earlier episodes, I said, Abigail gets the first impression rose. I hope she don't get thrown by the wayside. And what happened? He got comfortable, she got comfortable, and then there was no development of the relationship. And then she was like left out high and dry. Like Abigail's so like great. Like she's so kind. Like she's so adorable. Like I love the fact that she was able to be like a spokesperson for like her community. Like, and I'm not that obviously she gave like, you know, the difference in the reason why she's not considered deaf with a capital D because of like the fact that she is verbal and she can speak like as opposed to like other deaf people, but she still, you know, can't hear. She doesn't have her hearing aid in her ear. And I just love that she was able to shed a light on that community because, you know, I'm somebody who has a soft spot for people with special needs. Like I went to a school, elementary school that catered to students with special needs. And so I know what it's like to kind of be like, or I've seen what it's like to kind of be thrown out on the outskirts and like not seen in certain lights. It's like when you see, it's like when people see like people with different abilities, it's like, oh, they're different. Like, yes, they have some differences, but like they are still the same as people without disabilities. Like they still can have love and can feel emotion and like still want to be, you know, want to be romantically involved with somebody, and they still like, you know, have feelings and emotions. And so I love that she was able to, you know, explore those emotions for herself, but also kind of give like a nod to other people in that community. Like, yes, this can be you. Like this is not a space that is often talked about or occupied by people that are like us, but that doesn't mean that you don't deserve love. That doesn't mean that you don't deserve happiness. And so I love Abigail, and I love what she stood for. And it's similar to the way that I am about, you know, little black girls. Like that's why I make it an effort to create content. Like I don't just want to be in front of the scenes because that's my career, you know, that's my career goal. I don't just want to be a media personality or to, you know, be on a talk show just for the limelight and for the fame and what. I don't care about any of those things. My whole thing is like, I want little black girls to look on the TV and look on their phones and on different screens and see people who look like them, who are the same shades as them, who are from similar or, you know, different backgrounds than them, and know like, I see her and I can do that. And that's why like I love people like Keke Palmer, like I love Gabrielle Union, because they are black women who have shown me as someone who's younger than them that I too can reach certain heights and break certain ceilings and that have been placed, you know, on me as a black woman. So I digress. I can get on my soapbox, but I love what Abigail stands for, and I love that for her. And I hope to see her also, you know, in the Bachelor franchise. I feel like she's another one who is going to make a few appearances on the Bachelor franchise. So after Abigail gets out the hot seat, we go to Piper, who, you know, it was really interesting because I didn't see Piper as like a front runner. And like obviously she made it very far, right? She didn't make it to hometowns, so she top 5. But like their relationship was cute. I also think that Piper brought things out of him because of her youth. Like Piper's like a year younger. Piper and I are either the same age or she's like a few months younger than me. So she's also getting her master's. We graduated the same year from college. I think she's 23 or 24. I'm 24. So like it was beautiful to like see like someone my age, you know what I'm saying? Like going through that process and going through a lot of the things and dealing with a lot of insecurities that I have myself. And I think that like with Matt being like a little bit older than her and her being younger and kind of like maybe like in her newer or in her early stages of dating, she was able to bring things out of him and like bring a youthful side of him out that he might not have been able to get with the other women because they were around his age or older. And the only person that was younger than her was Kit. But I definitely didn't like see their relationship as being as big as like people made it out to be, or like as, you know, the episodes made him out to be. So like I don't really know that I have a lot to add to that. I will say that like her exit was hilarious because her exit was hilarious because she didn't want to say bye to him, but it was also very like it was very triggering for me, like and not in a bad way. It was almost like a dang, that is me. Like the way she left was the way I would have left. Like she wouldn't say anything to him. Like she's like, I shouldn't have done this. I shouldn't have been vulnerable. I shouldn't have told him I loved him. Like all these things. And that's literally how I am. Like I hate when I am so like vulnerable and like I tell people how I feel and then they like turn around and like throw it in my face, or they like turn around and they're like not receptive of this like thing that I poured my heart out and soul to you about, like whether it's romantically, whether it's with friends, whether it's just like you hurt my feelings, like whatever. Like it takes me so long to tell people how I feel, which is like something that I work through and I'm working through continuously and always. But then when I get to the point to tell you and you dismiss it, like don't ever expect me to say shit else to you. Like, do you see that wall? Now it's made of cinder blocks. Like before it was like just regular, no, now it's cinder blocks and you're not gonna break that wall no more. Like it's not happening. And so I felt her when she was like, yeah, I didn't necessarily mean that I regretted it, but like that's just how I kind of like, you know, make myself feel whole for having, you know, put myself out there so much and then having been rejected. So I definitely felt her on that front. And yeah, boom, then we go to Serena. Again, a lot of people were on the hot seat. A lot. It was a lot. And it was very quick. Like it was like, say your piece, go. Say your piece, go. Say your piece, go. But Serena entered the hot seat, and you know, she talked about her departure from The Bachelor. So, you know, she decided to leave. And honestly, like, I definitely think that Serena is like good with her decision, even though it was still emotional for her. I think that she felt like good with her decision. And I will say, like, I'm very similar with my family. Like, I tell my mom everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? I tell my parents everything, like my siblings, everything for the most part. And so like they know me and I know them. So like if I was to bring somebody home, like, or when I bring somebody home to meet them, my mom is gonna know instantly. My sister, she gonna tell me. The one that used to be with me in these shows, I mean on this on What's the Tea, mama, she gonna tell me. She gonna be like, he ain't it. It's not him.
It's a no for me, Bob.
My mom's gonna be like, she's not gonna say it as harsh. My sister harsh, but my mom's gonna tell me like, this is not the person that I see you with. I don't see you as the full person that you usually are. And I definitely feel like, you know, I empathize with Serena because those are not the words that she expected to hear, but she knew that her parents or her family, her sister wouldn't steer her in the wrong direction. And so she was like, I have to listen to them because I also have these similar feelings within. And so I definitely like appreciated her for like, being upfront and honest with him, because it would have sucked for him to watch this back if she would have been the one he picked. Or it would have sucked, like her sister said, for her to pick him or him to pick her, and then later on the line, she has issues like most of the Bachelor and Bachelorette couples have, because they didn't really, that wasn't her person. So, I definitely feel Serena, and I appreciated her for, being upfront and being honest about the fact that she wasn't really feeling him in a full way as the other women might have. But I will say that I think it's telling that, the way that he responded, because I definitely think Serena would have been top 3, if not top 2. And I don't know who would have went home. Honestly, maybe Bree. Bree might have went home. If Serena was still there, I think Bree would have went home. So I'm excited to see, what the remainder of the season, holds, because, I don't know I think that Rachel might be the one he picks at the end, because I don't see his connection with Michelle. I see his connection with Michelle and Bree, but it's not as strong as his connection with Rachel seems. Like, he literally told her he loved her. So I want it to be Michelle, but I feel like it's going to be Rachel. So nevertheless, I digress. So lastly, Matt comes out, joins the hot seat, and again, he's defending the mean girls, talking about, I know your character, all these things. And it's like, again, that's cool. But, are you also not going to, empathize with the women that they literally, the lives who they destroyed? Did you not watch this season when they was talking about this person is a dancer, this person is a hoe, this one is a slut, this one is an exotic, this one is a this thing. Come on now. You can empathize with them by also holding them accountable, which I definitely think he was trying to do, but I don't know. I just feel like he kind of straddles this fence where he wants to make everybody happy. And it's just I know why he's trying to do that. It's because he's the first black bachelorette, and he don't want nobody to feel like, oh yeah, he coming hard on people. And also maybe because that's his personality. But at some point, my man, you got to be definitive. Even when Serena broke up with him, he was like, I understand. When another situation happened, he's like, I understand. Da, da, da. Can you be angry? Can you be mad? Show some emotion? No, I'm sad. I'm upset. Fight for her. I digress. So, he's talking through the women, talking to them, addressing some of the things. But I guess the last thing I want to talk about, which I think is hilarious and is a great note to end on, is they address this kissing with his eyes closed thing. Honestly, that's weird to me. Why are you kissing with your eyes closed? With your eyes open. Why? That's weird. You just looking at somebody's eyelids, you kissing and you looking at their eyelids. You're too close to admire their whole facial structure in their face. So what are you admiring? You're admiring their eyelids and their eyelashes. And then, I feel like that would be so awkward for us to be kissing, and then I open my eyes and I see you staring at me. Bro, I would get scared. I would jump back. What are you doing, bro? What are you doing? We didn't even talk about the fact that he kissed with his whole mouth. He looked like somebody was chewing with their mouth open when he kissing. I don't know. That's weird to me. He's nobody told him that was an issue. I'm that's odd to me. That's very odd to me. And it's very interesting how he's shared that story about how with his first kiss, he shared it with Abigail in a little clip. His first kiss, he bit the girl lip and it bust open. It was gash, busting, gushing blood. He need to get that together. Somebody need to teach him. Whoever he with now, need to teach him. Close your eyes. Or hold his eyelids shut like that. Just like that. But anyway, that's it for today. It's a lot going on in Bachelor Nation, though. I don't know if y'all have heard, but Chris Harrison has stepped away from Bachelor Nation right now. We have a new Men Tell All. After the Final Rose. I don't know why I said Men Tell All. We have a new After the Final Rose host, Emmanuel Acho.
Fine. Fine.
He also hosts Uncomfortable Conversations with a Black Man on YouTube. Y'all should check it out. But I'm excited to see because, and I have purposefully stayed away from spoilers, so I don't know if this is true or not, but it seems like anytime there's an After the Final Rose, it's because something didn't go right with the person that was selected or at the end of the episode. So, because last semester, Tasha and Zach didn't have After the Rose, and they're still together. Obviously, Dale and the other girl, I don't remember, I forgot her name, but they have their little thing going on. But yeah, like all the After the Rose ceremonies, it seems like the situation was not good. Like Peter's season, not good. Like, so I feel like he's either single or he's not with the person, or and then I don't know who the person is, but like I don't know, I just feel like something is not good. Something is not good. So I'm excited to like see what comes out of this episode, because it's literally after the final rose. Like it's shot, from my understanding, live, and so it's going to be interesting to see how they also address all of the racial, tension that is bubbling and boiled over in Bachelor Nation, with Rachel and her racism. So I'm excited. I'm really excited. Again, make sure y'all join me same time, same place every week. I got y'all every week for the remainder of the season, and I'm also going to continue these because I like doing these. Like I like doing these. So the next show I'm going to continue with is Married to Medicine, which actually airs this Sunday on Bravo. So we got double episodes, double videos coming out for the next 2 weeks, and then we go proceed with Married to Medicine and whatever other shows come up that I want to talk about, because I do like doing these. But as I said, it's your girl, Miss Emirachi. Thank you for tuning in to What's the Tea with Miss Emirachi Bachelor Edition, where I got into the nitty and the gritty of this week's episode of The Bachelor. Until next time, be blessed, bold, beautiful, stay safe, stay COVID free. I'm signing out.